What's good? What's good? What's going on, good people? I'm back in this thing we like to call Back to the Classics. Welcome to Back to the Classics, the cinematic movie podcast that takes you back to the iconic films of 20 years ago. I am your guy, Jay Alonzo. Feeling good, feeling great, kind of tired, but it's a good day. It's a good day because I'm joined today by a marvelous talent that this great city has to offer. She is a radio show host. She is a documentary filmmaker. What else do you do? Do you paint well?
I'm okay at painting. Yeah? I'm not the best.
Like hopscotch champion 2000 to 2017.
I can smash somebody in hopscotch for sure.
All right, cool. Make some noise for the uber talented Oak. What's going on, darling?
Hey, she right on in. You know what's happening.
Yeah. You know, it's a funny thing because just when I had Omizi on last week, shout out to Omizi, when we first got together to actually plan something out for today, right? I figured we had about 6 months before we really had to go on the mic.
Right,
so
before you sat down.
Yeah.
Okay.
But see, time go by so damn fast because just having Omizi on the other day, now I got you on. But I'm happy to have you on. You chose the most gangster of gangster movies to do.
I was like,
so I like where your head is at.
I did. I like Laurence Fishburne. It took me a while to kind of get over him after seeing him play Ike. But Hoodlum is a good one. So I had to do that.
If you die, I'm going to kill you.
Right.
If you die, I'm going to kill you.
Famous line.
Love that movie. It's a great movie. Absolutely. So before we get into today's movie, I want to get to know you a little more. So with the documentary filmmaking part. Well, first thing, who is Oak? Where are you from? How did you get your start?
Okay, I'm born and raised right here in Vegas. I'm from North Las Vegas.
Shout out to Northtown.
Hey, you know what's up.
Hey.
And Oak, I know people always ask me about that name, like Oak, where did you get that from? My name is Nyoka, and Oak is something that my family calls me, and then my close friends started to call me that, and I kind of hated it, and then everybody's like, look, that's a dope name, just roll with it.
Just simply Oak.
So now I'm allowing everyone to call me Oak now, so it's kind of odd, but it's kind of cute too, so it's cool.
So explain the spelling of the name.
It's capital O, capital A, lowercase k, and honestly, that's just because I thought it was swaggy.
Okay. Well, all right.
It was swaggy.
Okay.
And it was kind of hardcore. It wasn't feminine. I didn't want it to look really feminine. I kind of wanted it to look like unisex.
Right.
So I left it like that.
I like it because nowadays, like I remember when Prince had the simply just like the symbol. So right. I know it drove people crazy. Like, okay, so coming to the stage. This.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to come on with the artist formerly known as Prince. But I love the creative path that you take as far as the things you choose to do. So as far as what you do on Twice Talk, shout out to my boy Twice. I see how you guys mesh up a very good chemistry together.
Yeah.
So how do you know what topics to tackle in an episode to where you guys are on the same playing field as far as, you know, Oak's her opinion on something that's going to get kind of overblown versus... Twice. Who I know can talk for a while. Like
right.
That's my guy, 100 grand. So, how do you guys find that balance in the show?
Honestly, every week is kind of like a struggle between me and him because I always want to talk about something serious, and he kind of likes to talk about like virtuous things. And I'm like, okay, that's cute. We can do that, but let's tie it into Colin Kaepernick, or let's tie it into. So we kind of just find values that people use on a daily, or should use, or shouldn't use. And we kind of tie it to a current topic that we can kind of take serious and also have some fun with.
Right.
So that's how we do that.
So the show is now on, it's with Over the Top LV now, correct?
Over the Top LV is our sponsor. So they sponsor us, but it's still at UNLV for the moment.
Right.
We're still looking into different locations so that we can get from up under the FCC rules. So I heard you cussing on here, and I was like,
oh,
yes.
yeah. So listen, the thing is, I tell every guest, we can cuss on there.
Okay.
So,
fuck.
Yeah,
Shit.
Get it out.
Bitch, you like it, don't like it. You like it.
You got me fucked up. Like, yeah, get it all out. When I tell people you can cuss on the show, it's like really? What the hell, man?
People get excited.
Yeah, because like you know, nobody cares about the internet, you know.
Exactly.
But I want to talk about the documentary that you did called Dope Daddy.
Okay.
And as a single father myself, I appreciate it because you rarely get to see a project evolving around pops.
Yeah.
Because for the most part, dads get the bad rap. So what inspired you to...
Especially black ones.
Hey, man, I got mine.
He a single daddy.
I got mine. We straight over here. No. But shout out to all single dads out there because
For sure.
it's definitely one of the hardest things one can do. So with that being said, what inspired you to go down that path and to explore more about the life of the single father and to switch it up on him?
Throughout my education, I started to learn that a lot of the stereotypes that we see on television and in film is false. So I started to think, like, I wonder if the stereotypes of black fathers being absent is false. And I did some research, and it was absolutely false.
Of course.
So, right. So that's what kind of inspired me. Also, just seeing so many women bash black fathers. And I'm like, damn, like, y'all don't have, what about the good black fathers? Like, what about them? So I decided to, like, shed some light on black fathers that are dope. And also my stepdad. My stepdad is a big part of my life. He's really dope. And without him, I would have really thought that men sucked. Like,
Right.
all of them.
Right.
So a lot of it goes to him, too, just to showcase, like, dads are dope. Like, dads are out here doing their thing.
And I thought it was so cool. I remember when you had you posted it on Facebook, and I'm like, "What the hell is dope daddy?" I'm like, all right, for sure. So I clicked on it, and I sat there and I was like, "Wow!" You know, it was like 7 minutes long, something like that.
It was 10.
10 minutes. Okay, so when I was watching it, I did feel, you know, the little, you know.
Man.
In the chest, you know, I got a little emotional because, you know, I happen to know single fathers right now who are going through, you know, the typical situations with the child's mother as far as if you can't be with them, then you can't be with the child.
Absolutely.
Or, then you have those ain't shit niggas who just don't take care of the kid at all.
Right.
So when you have guys like myself or Omizi or everybody in the city or all over the world who are stepping up to the plate, taking care of their kids, being a father, we appreciate it because we don't get enough shine.
Y'all
you know?
don't.
And we now live in a time to where, and it's funny because this movie kind of does tie into that. We live in a time to where we showcase or we embrace the negative stereotypes of the
Right.
black father instead of embracing the
Like
ones
the
who are
dope.
there. Exactly.
Right.
As a single father, I appreciate it. I thank you.
That's what's
and
up.
I want to get down with dope daddying too, if it's possible.
Oh, you want to get down with
Yeah,
it?
hell yeah.
Everybody's coming at me like, oh, so I'm not a dope dad?
I'm
Like,
so-
what's up?
I feel like she didn't call me. I mean, she didn't have to, but I feel like
That's hilarious.
I got a story to tell too. I mean,
Everybody that I brought on to cast for that documentary
Mm-hmm.
so far were people that I knew personally, and I knew something that happened within their fatherhood.
right.
Or within being a father, or however you like to say it.
Right.
So it was very thought out. But there will be a longer piece.
Okay.
It will be 55 minutes. That's what I'm aiming for.
Okay.
So that was just a short film of it. But I'm aiming for a feature. I just locked in my director of photography. So I'm definitely going to be calling out a lot more fathers, even if it's just for B-roll stuff.
Right.
I'm gonna include a lot of people.
So, would you say that this is the future of what you're doing as a filmmaker, as far as
Yes.
doing more documentaries?
Absolutely. I'm definitely going to be doing socio-political issues.
Oh,
For sure. That's me. That's who I am. That's what I find interesting.
I didn't want to go down this path, but I feel like if I do, I want to get some good stuff from you. So I'm gonna ask you anyway.
Okay.
Trump, give me your entire opinion as far as the man's been in office, what, 6 months at this point? 6, yeah. And it's been what it's been. So give me a quick rundown of how you feel as far as the current state of the country in the hands of this man, right?
The current state of the country in the hands of him, I feel like everybody's having a field day with it. I feel like the media is having a field day with it. I think that the Democrats are having a field day with it. I think that white supremacists are having a field day with it. So I can't necessarily just blame Trump for the state of America right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The only thing he's doing is pulling off the veil because people feel more comfortable with being who they are.
Right.
And I just see a lot of Democrats being a lot more, I feel like they're being very petty because they're just pointing the finger at Trump. And it's just like, bro, those people were already here existing, thinking what they thought before Trump became president.
I feel like he's now just giving them the platform to come out and just show their ass.
Or is that the media saying, hey, let's showcase, because there's been Confederate rallies since, for a long time
Before he
now.
was even here.
Yeah, that's been happening.
Right.
That's not new. It's just now they're showcasing it to find a way to, I think, bring voters to the Democrat Party.
See, now that was an answer I was expecting to get from you because
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you a little something. Omizi told me last week that it's certain subjects I should probably not talk to you about, as far as, 'cause you have a very strong opinion about
Omar.
such. But I feel like, we're all family here, so I'm not like telling
No,
nobody.
for sure. That's
and
my
we're
boy.
a movie show. Fuck Trump. So
I mean, it's still fuck Trump.
oh
for
yeah, no
sure.
matter what, we can talk about Cadillacs and still fuck Trump. So,
You stupid.
Yeah. So, but I do admire the way you looking at the world in a sense. So that's why I kind of want to go down that route. So, as far as the movies are concerned, do you get to movies pretty often?
Yes, I'm a movie person.
What's the last movie you saw?
I went to go see Detroit. Come on now,
Okay, yeah. Shit was dope.
Of course.
Shout out to Catherine Bigelow. I felt like it was some things missing at the same time, really impactful.
It was a lot of stuff missing
Very
from that
emotional
movie.
as well.
They could have made it a lot more. They could have gave it way more substance than it had. I feel
Well,
like
one of my main issues was with Detroit was if it's based off the Detroit riots. However, it's not really about Detroit riots. It's really about what happened at the motel.
yeah.
So had they focused more on the motel and had really just the riots be like a backdrop,
Yeah.
it would have brought more, powerful connection with the audience. I thought this movie itself was very well directed. However,
I thought it was really good.
yeah, but I felt like if you're gonna give me a Detroit riots movie, let's
see these riots.
see some more riots, burn some shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I am looking forward to the LA riots movie when we finally get one, because that's something I can relate to, because I was there.
Oh, okay.
So for me,
You was there. You was in the riots.
I mean, I wasn't like stealing shit, but I feel like if I was able to steal at that time, I probably got a TV or something.
And he said he would have been looting.
Yeah,
okay,
TV, a
forget
bike.
this riot.
I'm
I'm
not
about
gonna
to
run
get
away.
some stuff.
Yeah, you see this middle finger? Yeah, Rodney King, man, off top.
You want to know what I like that the Detroit movie showed, though, was that people were just trying to get from point A to point B,
Right.
and they got caught up in the crossfire.
In the crazy crossfire
so
that nobody
that was really
can, yeah.
interesting to me, because it's like, well, I'm not in the riot. I'm just trying to get home. And it's
Right.
like, well, yes, you are, boy. You're going to jail.
Right.
So I thought that was pretty cool. But I do think that they should have made some of the scenes with the police officers more hardcore. 'Cause I
Right.
felt like they kept it real cute.
Yeah, because I think they did that in the strength of the actors, even though that's what you get paid to do. Some of them having to relive those lives and act out those horrible things that they did to people back in those days. And some people, I was tripped out. I saw a Black Lives Matter movement, and it was all white people, like all white people, and I was like,
That definitely happened.
this is different, like vanilla Black
Right.
Lives Matter. I thought it was pretty dope. But you can tell when you're playing a certain character that this person is so vile, so disgusting, that simply repeating the words that this person has said to somebody else at one point in time almost makes you like vomit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel as if a lot of stuff was taken out for that reason, but at the same time, I do applaud the movie. So, what movie did you see this year that you just hated? Like,
That I
you
hated
hated.
this year.
It should burn.
I don't think I hated anything this year.
Right.
But last year I seen, or maybe it was this year, I don't know. It was a movie with Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck was in a movie.
The Accountant?
No. And it
Live
was
by Night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Live by Night. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is gonna be so lit and gangsta, and it was a love story.
Oh, no, that's a love story for your ass.
I'm not a big love story person unless it's black people. I'm gonna be
And
honest.
the thing is with Ben Affleck, like when it comes to movies like The Town and Gone Baby Gone, and at one point we're gonna get the Ben Affleck directed Batman, but Warner Brothers is playing with folks. You know what I mean? So I don't know what's going on, but when he directs his action sequences, he gets really gritty with it.
Yeah.
So the
That's what it
trailer,
was.
the trailer for Live by Night showed you this is gonna be a nice gangster flick, and it's
no.
really a love story.
Yeah. It was a love story. And I was like, okay, this is not the mood that I wanted to be in. I wanted to see some gangster shit go
Right.
down.
I want to shoot some shit up. What's
Some
happening?
gangster stuff did happen. It definitely did happen.
But it was like it's like a 3-hour movie, and the gangster shit is like
And
10
then
minutes.
the
and-
last scene.
Yeah, not for me. But all right, so I want to cover one more thing because we talked about this on Facebook.
Ooh,
Me and you had a personal conversation on Facebook about it.
Oh my
All right?
gosh, what is it?
So this is okay. So All Eyes on Me,
Okay.
which is now on. I want to say it's on DVD, Blu-ray today, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Didn't live in the theaters long
Okay.
at all. You did go see it.
Yes, I did.
I went and saw it. Our opinions are sort of similar,
Sort of similar.
but I think the more I think about it, I think I tried to rewatch it the other day, and I'm just like,
Nah.
nah. All Eyes on Me in my personal opinion, plays out like a lifetime movie with a better budget.
Yeah, I agree. When you put it that way, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they should have kept John Singleton. Like, I know that they said that he was trying to put some crazy scenes in there,
Like
but
a rape scene. He talks to a severed head and
severed head. I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, it was a bunch of different stories. Like, he had to get a rape scene going.
I heard a rape scene.
The opening scene, he's talking to like a severed, I guess his own head that's chopped off, but he's talking. I don't know. I don't really know.
I heard that Al Hutton said that.
LT Hutton.
LT Hutton. Yeah. Al. LT Hutton. His name should be Al, okay? No, I'm
Al
just
Hutton.
He said that John Singleton wanted to open up the movie with Tupac having sex with a white woman or getting his penis sucked by a white woman and then being like,
right?
Or trying to, yeah.
Right.
And he said, tell your dad that you got fucked by a nigga today. I was all for that entrance. I was all for that.
Yeah. I mean, given Tupac's extremely vibrant, reclusive,
his attitude.
Yeah, he was a dude that he was never the same every day. He'll preach thug life Monday, turn around and preach black empowerment Tuesday, turn around and preach death row, Wednesday, fuck Biggie on Thursday, California Love Friday, and black militancy Saturday. So
you know what? I call myself Baby Tupac, right?
Yes, I noticed that on your side.
So I think that Tupac, when he says thug life and street passion, he's really just talking about the working class and what happens when you live in that class system. So I really think that when he's like, okay, we got to unite, I think that he still means that even when he like thug life and street passion, because he's like, look, these is my people. We might fight a little bit, but I still love y'all, and let's get together and get this money.
How did you feel about Demetrius Shipp as Tupac?
I loved it.
Right.
He was fine too. Like, I'm for that.
For me, when I first seen dude, I'm like, this motherfucker look a lot like Tupac.
Just like him.
To the point I'm like, I think Pac had a kid and we didn't really know.
That's his son.
Because that's your boy for sure.
That's actually my homegirl's friend.
Word.
And she was like, I grew up with him, and everybody said that he looks like Tupac, and it's just amazing to see him on the red carpet.
I mean, so I feel as if the actual Tupac performance does live up to the hype because he looks like him, he moves like him. Yeah. However, the movie that surrounds him, the script that surrounds him, it felt so rushed. That's the very first thing. It felt
rushed and it felt watered down. I felt like it should have been way more intense. Like, I should have been like, I wasn't even offended by the movie. Like, you can't have a conversation. I kind of was. Well, meaning like Tupac does stuff that people could be offended by, and I felt like nothing really like that happened in the movie.
Well, they said it's the untold story of Tupac. Everything you told me in this movie, we kind of already knew.
Okay.
So what was untold, we didn't know. But what killed me about the movie is it was the way that the moving from scene to scene, as far as like the big events in Pac's life that we know about.
Right.
They'll set it up. And then it fades away like a commercial should be happening right now.
Right. They didn't let it live on. Yeah, let us take this in.
Yeah, like you're chopping it down. And then I watched an interview with Benny Boom and LT Hutton. And they discussed how Benny Boom got on to do the movie. Shout out to Benny Boom, too. That's my man.
Yeah, he's dope.
He's hella cool. He got a phone call from LT Hutton. And I think it was like a Friday. And he was on the first plane out that Monday. Where's the prep work? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's parts in the movie where Las Vegas, Pac literally has an iPhone in his hand. You can see the Dre's promotional poster on the strip.
I didn't catch the iPhone thing. Okay, now people kept saying that, I was like looking for it, but maybe I was looking at something else. Yeah, I don't know.
You could say it felt super lazy. So I can say right now, it will likely end up on my top 10 worst list of the year. Top 10 best. I'm loving Wonder Woman. I'm loving Girls Trip.
I haven't seen it.
Girls
I'm
Trip
such
was
a
something,
slacker.
And I'm thinking that's right up your alley. You should be on Facebook right now.
I told all my girls, like, if we're going to go see this, I got to hit up the participating baddies because we was all supposed to see this movie together. Didn't happen. Yeah,
it's a surprise because we're talking about Queen Latifah, Jada Pinkett,
exactly,
Regina Hall, and then of course Tiffany Haddish.
So you gonna rub it in my face? You gonna?
I'm just saying. I'm gonna put a little butter on it. Okay. I'm gonna put a little butter on it. I'm just let you know, check it out. I thought it was a great movie. Then with it just passing over $100 million in the box office.
Wow.
You got to shop that out.
Lit.
You know what I mean? So
very lit.
Check it out, most definitely. Is there anything you're looking forward to as far as what we got coming up for like the Oscar season?
Oscars? Oscar's so white. No, I'm just joking. But, I'm not sure. Like, I'm not a big award show person. So, no. Honestly, I'm not looking forward to it. Maybe Chris Rock can host again. I'll look forward to that.
You know what? And as much as I love Chris Rock, man, they're not bringing that man back no time soon. That I can definitely tell you. So let's get into this thing, man. So before we do 2-minute drill, go ahead and plug everything you're doing right now as far as everything. Mm-hmm. How can people get in your business?
All right. You can check me out on Twice Talk. We have a Twice Talk page on Facebook. That's every Thursday night at 5 p.m. when we start on time because, color people time.
Yeah, CP time.
Yeah, you know what's up. Instagram.
Just embrace it. It's
Just embrace it.
Just embrace it.
You can count on it. But we do record it live and we save it on Facebook, so you're always welcome to tune in later. And please chime in. We like an open debate. Also, my Instagram is @_KOKOAKA. Mm-hmm. My Facebook page is Autumn Gold. That's a whole nother story. Don't ask me why.
Talk to him.
And yeah, that's it for me. Oh, my Twitter. My Twitter is @0AKLUVIN. So,
that's it. Got any Tumblrs? You got any?
No, I don't have a Tumblr.
Nah, nothing. Cool. So let's get into 2-minute drill. So you know how we get down with 2-minute drill? Basically, we rapid fire questions to each other, and obviously the person who gets the most questions correct will kick off the review after my intro, of course. So let me get this clock ready.
Take it easy on you, girl.
I mean, hey, you know what I'm saying?
No, I'm ready.
You always have the invite to come on back, to try it out again for sure. Let's do it. 2-minute drill with the lovely Oak starts now. All right, I'm into with the first question. Name the actor who plays Bub, who ironically plays Bumpy Johnson in American Gangster.
Ew, I don't know his real name. Something told me to look that up too. I know he played on Gothica. Mm-hmm. Boom, I get half. And
he's also the scary ass devil in Boys in the Hood. Welcome to hell.
Oh, you're talking about Clarence Thomas.
Williams III. Link from Mod Squad.
Yeah, Clarence Thomas.
Clarence Williams.
Clarence Williams.
Third.
I know his name Clarence.
Yeah,
he like
Clarence.
I'm calling Clarence.
Somebody's grandpa. So that's we got it wrong. But I'm glad you got that. Glad you caught that. Your question.
Okay. What color was the Queen's dress when she was attacked by Dutch and his crew?
Was it multicolored?
I don't know, youngin.
Oh, so I'm getting this weird, you ain't getting no clue face. Okay.
One color.
I'm gonna take a stab in the dark. I'm gonna say blue.
It was green.
Close enough, close enough. We got 59 seconds. This is going nowhere. What did Illinois compare killing roaches to?
Damn. Italians? What did Illinois compare killing roaches to? Mm-hmm. I said Italians. That was horrible.
Yeah, but you had something lined up. You had an answer lined up. It's the wrong answer, but it's actually stepping on cornflakes.
Stepping on cornflakes. Okay.
Yeah. Hold on. Where we at with the time? He really ain't. If you grew up where we grew up, well, yeah. 20 to 27 seconds. Your question.
Okay. Finish this line. What wasn't? It's a phrase. What wasn't?
What wasn't?
It's a greetings.
Yep, earned for me because I don't know what that is.
It was what wasn't, cousin?
Well, was buzzing, cousin?
Is it?
Well, all right. Well, that's 2 minutes drill.
I
thought you said what's buzzing, cousin. Well, that was 2 minute drill. Nobody won nothing, so technically it was fair. Nobody got nothing right.
It was a tie.
It was a tie.
I can't even ask my questions correctly.
At the same time, I feel like this movie.
I couldn't really hear.
It's kind of dated, but
it is dated. When I watched it, I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
This is what I'm doing.
So if you don't know what movie we're talking about, we're taking it to August 27th of 1997 with the, I guess you can call black classic, hood classic, Hoodlum. Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. Original release date, August 27th, 1997. Shares opening weekend with Access Baggage with Alicia Silverstone. I think nobody saw that. Production budget, $30 million with a box office total of $23 million. So it bombed.
Wow.
That sucks. 43% on Rotten Tomatoes. How fair or unfair is that?
47% on Rotten Tomatoes?
43%.
43. Honestly, I don't know how fair that is. Actually, I kind of think that that's high for Rotten Tomatoes. It's not really low. I mean, 68 is kind of what I usually see for movies that I think are good. 47 for a movie that came out in 97, and it's a black movie. Wait, there are two. It's kind of white people.
Oh no, there's a nice handful of vanilla in the movie for sure.
But leading roles, it's Laurence.
What I found fascinating about the movie is that these events never happened. Well, I believe
these events never happened.
I think the way that Dutch Schultz dies, that actually happened. But as far as when I was reading the back notes about the movie, what they did was the concept was to take 3 real figures in life and make a fictional story.
Okay.
So it was like, well, did Bumpy Johnson really come out and he got with Lucky? And was Dutch really like that big of a dick? Like, Dutch Schultz is a dick in this movie. Played great by Tim Roth. But when I first saw the movie, I had to have been about, 9 or 10.
Yeah, I know it was back in the day from when I seen it.
And I never really got all the way through it. So actually, I watched it today, and for like the first time in years, I got all the way through it. Mm-hmm. And, watching
2 hours long.
I was like, damn, boy, wow. And I did fall asleep. I ain't gonna lie.
I fell asleep too.
But, the overall story.
No shade.
No shade. It's Fishburne. You know what I'm saying? Ike, Morpheus. He's done other shit, but I'm not gonna name it. The way the story comes together, I feel like the story does keep you engaged, but then it kind of brings you back when you realize it's not even a real story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It kind of develops slowly for me. I'm like, okay, let's start killing somebody or something. And I still couldn't figure out what Lucky Luciano was doing for them. I'm like, what did you do?
He was kind of just sitting around, had a lazy eye, and
right.
He'd get the necessary cast together who he had to get together, and that's it. That's his whole part. So Bumpy Johnson, played by Larry Fishburne, he is doing time. He's coming out of Sing Sing prison, and he's coming across Harlem. How can I put this?
Like when he's walking through off the train.
As far as his first experience with coming back home after doing time, and now running numbers is pretty much the only way.
The only way out.
A black man can make some money.
Right.
So I look at Harlem. First of all, New York itself gets a bad rap.
It does.
Because
in every movie.
Oh my God. Like New York in like the 30s and the 40s and 50s, like that sounds like a horrible place to be.
Especially sure it was for black people.
Yeah, crack was coming and it was just wow. But I think this movie in a sense kind of plays out like American Gangster. Like I feel like American Gangster is almost like the indirect sequel to Hoodlum, because except for the fact that Clarence Williams does play Bumpy in this movie,
American Gangster.
But I feel the way that when the mob thing was really going,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Then of course the blacks, they got into it. Now they have their own mob going on. Do you see it being as thorough and yet as violent back in those days? We have no real evidence of like the black mob, but we know that they were out there.
Do I think that the black mob was, or just in a general?
In a general sense, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that there was a lot of violence going on in the 30s because, first of all, you're not going to get caught that fast. Mm-hmm. It was a lot less regulations in business, so you can have judges and cops in your pockets like they did back then. Yeah. So I think it was just as violent. I
mean, we live in Las Vegas. I'm pretty sure the ground we're sitting on right now, there's a body right beneath it, about 40 feet down.
That's nice to know.
Yeah, the mob ran everything. I feel like Casino is definitely a great portrayal of Las Vegas in the 60s and the 70s. Right. Motherfuckers was getting cut up and put in them deserts.
You said
drove way past Prim.
Absolutely.
Like 40 miles
Lake
outside
Mead,
of Prim. Lake
all of that.
What? His body's cooking in Lake Mead right now. Sorry.
Cooking.
Shout out to the tourists. Come on out. Vegas is great. So, give me your opinion about Madam Queen, played by the great Cicely Tyson.
I liked her role. She was very chill. I liked that she dressed very flamboyant.
She dressed like my grandmother.
Oh, really?
I swear. There's a few. I'm like, yeah, I think Grams got that one, actually.
She dressed like a queen pin. So I thought that was dope. I really didn't understand was she supposed to be Haitian or Creole. I'm gonna assume Haitian because she was dark.
My assumption was Haitian, but then I heard some Jamaican in there, and
I think she was Haitian.
I'm sure she's Haitian
because she was speaking Creole.
After her man gets killed.
Yeah, she was speaking Creole throughout the movie, but I liked her roles very chill. She was single, which I think that was like that was to stereotype her, a strong black woman.
Right.
She can't have a man. But I thought her role was cool. I would have liked to see a lot more of her in that movie, but we didn't.
So when Bumpy comes to her with the initial purpose of trying to up her business, because obviously since he's been locked away, Dutch been running in on her. Obviously now that Lucky, I don't know what Lucky's connection with everybody else is, but
still trying to figure that out.
Still trying to figure that part out. But he's muscling in on Madam Queen's business as well. So do you feel like at that time when you have that one person who you can trust to get shit done in a incredible time, was Bumpy out of line for trying to save the business, trying to keep the queen at her throne?
I don't think that was about the queen and her throne. I think that was about Bumpy when he came in. He wanted to make his name known. He wanted to solidify his position. So I don't think that was to save the queen because she felt like she was fine.
Right.
And she didn't want him to do all the stuff that he did, all the violence that was committed because of him. Because of him wanting to, I guess, take back the bank. And that's what they were saying?
Yeah.
But wrong? I'm not going to say that it was wrong because she definitely needed that. She needed to get rid of Dutch. But I do think that it wasn't for her. I think that it was selfish reasons and he felt entitled. That's how I felt. Because he knew he had that kind of leadership, basically.
Right. Okay, so the first 15 minutes of the movie, we get this crazy shootout, burnout, really. And you get the first taste of Bub, played by Clarence Williams III. And like I said, rewatching this movie for the first time, I'm like, I don't like you, bruh. I don't, you're working with the white guy. Come on. And you're from the neighborhood that you're burning up pretty much.
He's always the villain. He's always the
villain. Now, the crazy twist is, at the end of this movie, he's no longer the villain. I'm like, oh, okay. I actually forgot about that part. But, I've always been skeptical yet afraid of Clarence Williams.
So creepy.
He's so creepy, Like, my first time ever seen him do anything. He played the devil in...
Boys in the Hood?
No.
Wait, no. What did he play in Boys in the Hood?
Tales from the Hood. There we go.
Tales from the Hood. Boys in the Hood.
So I remember watching that movie, and the way at the end when he
Scary.
goes, "Welcome to hell, motherfuckers," was like the scariest shit I ever heard, because he turns into the devil, the most corniest, cheesy-looking devil they can ever create. But when you're young, that's some scary shit. Yeah, so from then on, he was the devil, and everything he did.
And
everything he did
is.
So, he's that good of an actor.
When I first seen him on the movie, he made his entrance, I thought in my head, like, he's going to end up being cool because he's just being too loud. And I knew he was going to have a bigger role than what he did. And they kept showing all these looks that he was giving when the whites were talking. So I figured that he was eventually going to, go back to the other side. That's how I felt.
I think they clearly established that he is from the neighborhood. So he's very aware of Bumpy. He's very aware of Madam Queen. Everybody who is in that neighborhood.
Right.
But he just decided to go to another direction. But it's a lot of jumping teams in this movie.
Exactly.
And I noticed that. I'm like, damn, like they got him too? Because and I hate to jump around, but what's my man's name? He's a dark dude with a super slick, greasy back hair that was quick to pull a knife every time somebody called him out.
What's his name?
Villy?
Something like that.
Look at my notes. Villy, I want to say his name.
Or Velly?
Velly? Is it Velly?
Something.
We'll call him Black Dude for now.
Black Dude.
So when he gets exposed,
yeah,
and this scene right here actually will probably be in my iconic scene by the end of the show. He's Bumpy is sitting in the ice cream parlor with Vanessa Williams. Jesus God.
It's hilarious.
I love it. And the first time I seen this scene, I didn't necessarily pick up on what he was actually talking about. I thought there was like almonds in his.
When I seen that scene, I'm like, okay, I remember seeing this scene before when I watched it.
But I didn't
at
pick
whatever
up on,
age.
I didn't pick up on the actual issue.
Yeah.
And so, as she's about to take a bite of the split, and he looks at it real tough, and he grabs the spoon. He calls over the dude. He says, "Who made my split? That'd be the new boy, Jimmy, or whatever his name was." And so, the owner who knows Bumpy, and this random times when, especially in New York, because it was a small area, everybody knows who you are.
Right.
You're that
Everybody
powerful.
knows each other.
Everybody knows who you are. Like, they know that Oak that lives on 135th down the street, goddamn, if you don't get your ass home, I'm telling you, mama.
Right.
That's how close-knit everybody was. Mm-hmm. So when Bumpy comes through, you know the kind of ice cream split this man likes. So as you're looking at this scene play out,
Can't be that many flavors in 1934.
at that time, no, I'm sure it was like vanilla and almonds.
Right.
Maybe some caramel sauce if you're lucky. But
Hilarious.
But I thought when I first seen it, and that's how you know this movie's really dated, because even when you rewatch it looks like almonds in the spoon. But he makes the dude who pretty much was hired by Dutch to put rat poison in this man's ice cream, makes him eat the ice cream.
Right. Gangster.
That shit was so gangster. It was so gangster.
And it was smooth, though. It was like, hey, come here.
Get here for a second.
Everybody can leave. It's going to be fine.
Talk about that boy shit his bricks.
He was so nervous.
And then the other cross bird was the black dude with the slick back hair. When he made a deal with Dutch. He the one that got the kid hired.
Oh, right, him.
Yeah, he got the kid hired. And he dies, I don't want to say crucial, but Whispers, who I think he plays Whispers in every movie he does, because the man has no
hilarious.
voice. Oh, why'd you do it, Bump? But he gets his throat slashed.
Right.
And it's like, damn. It's a lot of switching. And then you get the driver involved as well. I'm like...
Right. Well, the driver, he kind of like
he was
played
in
both
on the
sides.
other thing.
He was like, let me just get both of this money out of it.
And I thought, and it played out well as well.
I liked all the little phrases that they used.
Like, what's buzzing, cousin?
Yeah, because obviously I didn't hear that correctly, but whatever.
I might just use that between now and...
What's buzzing, cousin?
What's buzzing, cousin?
Then he said, you ain't never had no loot, but you still my favorite boot. Then they said, hard as lard. Mm-hmm. I don't know what they was talking about when they said hard as lard. I can't remember. I think they was talking about something sexual. I'm not sure.
Hard as lard is something sexual. Lard is not sexy. So how do you make that sexual?
But lard is soft, right? Like it melts. No clue what they
No, okay.
Got to run that one back.
Listeners, if you can let me know what exactly is lard and how can we make lard hard.
Then they have, I would give you 30, but your hand's too dirty.
Yes, now that one I've used. I've used that one before.
And from the womb to the tomb.
From the womb to the tomb, or from the rooter to the tutor. So, going through my notes here, I want to talk about Francine, played by Vanessa Williams. It seems like in these gangster movies, right, the love interest, the girlfriend, the wife, whatever, is always that one with the crystal eyes, somewhat light skin,
right,
beautiful body, but she dresses like a church girl. And then you get this...
And is a church girl.
And likely is a church girl.
Most of the time.
And then you get this gangster coming through, sweeps her off her feet. Mm-hmm. But she's now put into a really bad situation. Right. So, not to get in your business, not to get personal. This is not... It's not personal. But...
It can be. I'm an open book.
Oh, cool. So, have you ever... no. As far as guys you've been involved with, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not necessarily saying Bumpy Johnson bad, but as far as getting involved in that type of lifestyle atmosphere,
like in the streets.
Yes.
Yeah, I've dated a lot of guys that was in the streets. Definitely not unfamiliar.
And did it affect you in any kind of way?
I think, I don't know. That's kind of like a hard question to ask because to answer, because I feel like everything kind of affects us.
Right.
But maybe it made me a little bit insensitive towards violence or towards breaking the law. It definitely made me more insensitive to it. But I don't think that it made me, want to be down with the street life or anything like that.
Okay.
But I feel like a lot of gangsters, so to speak, because we're going to just say they're gangsters in this movie. Men like that are pretty smart most of the time. You can't be a dumb criminal. If you're a dumb criminal, you're probably dead or in jail.
Well, in 2017, dumb criminals is what we got. So you kind of can't escape it. But also touch on this for me, because we get to a part to where Dutch is trying to partner with Madam Queen, right? Dutch clearly has a rep now, right? And then you have Madam Queen, who business is still flourishing, so to speak, but she's definitely getting caught in a possibility of being put out of business, if not killed. Right. You know what I mean? So when Dutch approaches her about the partnership, explain this thing to me here, because I would love to get your perspective on it. Because once he pulls out the man's balls and puts it on the table, and the whole squad just start locking and loading, ready to go.
Right.
How did that make you feel when you saw that?
I like the Queen's reaction. I don't have any balls. That's what she said.
Yeah, she didn't really break
right. She
any emotion.
threatened.
She was just
She's
sitting
like,
there.
You pulling balls out for what? I think that was just him, trying to talk big, like New Yorkers do. No shade to New Yorkers, but I think that's a big East Coast thing. Like, oh, I got big cojones and da 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 da. So
I got a few friends from New York, and usually when they come to a place they're kind of unfamiliar with, they usually go up in there and be the loudest motherfuckers in the room.
Yeah, he was trying to make noise in that instance, and he was.
Who the fuck is this guy? Huh?
Right.
Yeah, everything's a question.
That's hilarious.
What am I, an asshole? I'm an asshole.
Everything is a question.
Everything's a question.
I do not get along with Brooklyn cats, but it's all good.
I'm cool with a few Brooklyn cats. Shout out to homies in Brooklyn.
I mean, I'm cool with them, but
I wouldn't go out with them.
I'm not gonna go out.
If I'm in town, pull up. I'll be in more safer places, but whatever. Shout out to them. But
it throughout the movie, Dutch was just a big talker, and everything had to be emphasized.
Well, he was a big talker.
Yeah.
He talked a lot of shit. At the same time, he had no problem pulling that trigger.
Agreed.
No problem.
Agreed. He was a gangster.
The doctor. Oh, I'm sorry, not the doctor. He was
the accountant.
I guess an accountant. And when they set up Dutch, basically, and then he goes in there and do I don't know.
He should have never killed that man.
Yeah. Bomb. He did.
That was.
He's trigger happy.
Whack.
That boy's trigger
so
happy.
Whack.
But I feel like Tim Roth just bodies that role, man.
He did. He did a great job.
He's a dude to where he's from London, but he can almost embody any. Maybe not a black man, but he can embody any nationality. You know what I'm saying? But I think for what he gave to that role was something he's like, yeah, I dug that. So, skipping ahead, obviously we're past the point where Dutch offers to be a partner with Madam Queen, and it doesn't go down. We now get to a point to where there's a hit out, or a hit actually, tries to go. Yeah.
Right.
That scene, now rewatching it, number one, Laurence Fishburne can't shoot for shit. I'm just going to go ahead and say
silly.
it. Because when Bub Bub hops in a car, at this point now, 7 or 8 dudes who are the Tommy guns, whatever, they've all been shot down. Mm-hmm. The only dude that's really still running around is Bub.
Right,
he gets in his car. Bumpy grabs a sawed-off shotgun, a Tommy gun, and a pistol, and hits nothing.
Right, I know. I peeped that.
You don't even get a bounce off the bumper to really make anything really happen.
You want to know what's actually even more interesting about that scene? So after the camera pans out, after all of the gunfire, there's a flag with the NRA on there. Did you peep that?
I didn't peep that. I got to go back and watch that.
I like that. That was some shade. I like that. That was cute.
Like violence, guns, death.
Yeah, because
NRA,
of you guys.
Sold soon.
Exactly.
I never even caught that. Damn, that was a good one.
It was on the light pole.
I'll watch that tonight. No.
Yeah, you're not gonna watch that again.
No, I'll probably watch it for another 20 years. To be God honest with you. But they do attack Bumpy and Francine. They attack. They're really all out to get him out of the business.
Yeah, kill him.
It's really just Dutch,
throwing a fit. I felt like he was throwing a fit the whole.
He's being a child the whole time, because he has no respect.
Yeah, and then they're black, so he's like the niggers. That's all he kept saying.
What I find crazy is that he has no respect, but he's the one dude with a 3-man crew.
His crew is small.
Everybody else has like 10, 15 dudes. It's you and these 3 motherfuckers. Like, you can't kill everybody in here.
But he did have the police force on his side.
Which is funny because he uses the racial technique to make things fly. Which is, these movies that come out that have the corrupted cop or the racist corrupted cop. And these times date back to 1934. And here we are in 2017, and we can still make movies about the same shit that's been going on since before Earth really got here. You know what I'm saying? And I find it funny because I remember a part of the movie where they shake down Illinois, and they beat him up outside the restaurant, outside the shop, and the cop, which I thought the cop wasn't really threatening.
At all. He looked like Santa Claus or the Colonel Sanders. I was like, we couldn't have picked a better cop than this.
He looked kind of sensitive, actually. His voice is kind of high pitched, and like, do you want to go next?
Yeah, like, no,
my darling. But how do you feel how you're able to still conduct the same type of content that is still incredibly relevant today?
I think it just goes to show that that's prevalent in society, and it always has been. It's like people try to act like 1934 in terms of history is not that long ago. Right. Not long at all. But I think it just goes to show that this is still going on, that police officers came from racism. They were taught these racial disparities and taught to racially profile people and taught that they don't have to respect blacks and they can do whatever they want. So I think that people need to take note. Like, this is a reflection of reality. That's what art is. Right.
So. And of course, and Santa Claus, when he gets in charge of the whole thing as far as like taking down Bumpy and the crew, like he goes for Madam Queen and gets her incarcerated.
Right.
So now because of Dutch. So now Bumpy has to step in now, and he now needs to run the crew. So I feel like at this point is when the movie really does begin to take off. Yeah, because it doesn't take long before bodies are flying. And so I wanted to touch on that for a second as well. And then I'm gonna call that cop Santa Claus for the rest of the episode. Because out of all the white-haired dudes in this movie, his shit was like
white and
crisp,
curly.
White.
And curly.
Yeah, like at this point, Bumpy's looking to get with Lucky to come up with a plan to get Dutch out of here, right? Because one of the things that really does hit Bumpy, he hires the kid, the young cat Tyrone, and Tyrone didn't last.
I know, I was 30 like, really seconds. Typical. I was pissed.
He didn't last 30 seconds. Yeah. And he caught a slug to the ribcage, just died out. But yeah, when they employ a kid, right? And I think it's supposed to kind of bring it, full circle for us. Like, this is how these people become these gangsters, people. Right. From the youth. You know what I'm saying? And especially in movies, when they do get a kid, the kid normally doesn't last.
Yeah, the kid usually gets murdered so that we get sad.
Before the credits, you know what I'm saying?
And we still get sad.
We still get sad.
We know it's going to happen.
We're sad for him because we know we're going to get the glimpse of the kid in the coffin. Like, oh,
right.
It's a little homie, man.
Right.
But what really does hurt me off top, because we found out about Valley setting up Bumpy. We find out about who was really going against Bumpy. But when they find Illinois' body, because Illinois had went through this thing because they had killed his girl. Yeah. Right? And Illinois goes to Bumpy to confront Bumpy because they're really close cousins. And that was really his right-hand man. So, but when you kill the love of his life.
Right. What do you expect?
Who really just caught in the crossfire.
Exactly.
That part when they discover Illinois' body, that's what hurt me the most.
Oh, really?
Because throughout the movie, they really do build their relationship. Loretta Devine, her character.
When she got killed, that was like, damn.
That's really just, you're just a casualty. Aww. Tell you the truth. And that's not
didn't like how they had her body sprawled out like that. That's what kind of made me be like, okay, so are we supposed to assume that she got raped too? Because y'all got her legs, like,
well, they did establish she was a freaky one because she puts her skirt over boys. Right. Yeah. So it does, she's established to be the freak for sure, but who knows? But I feel as if it's more effective when Illinois is killed. Okay. Because, like I said, from the time Bumpy gets out to this moment, and the movie actually wraps with the same moment as well. You do feel for these two. You do see that cousins bond.
Right. The dynamic between them.
Exactly. So when he is killed, you do feel it, and it's
so you was hurt.
I mean,
you shed a few.
I didn't, I didn't cry per se.
Okay.
I mean, I looked up and then had a little shit, whatever. But it does hurt, honestly. But it's not gonna piss. It did piss me off because we do get to the point to where at this point Lucky has kicked Dutch out of the
crew,
gangsters association,
the money.
whatever, and he's now going gung ho. He's ready just to murder everybody.
I thought it was ironic that they had the police kill Illinois, then string him up or chain him up with the sign on him, which is kind of like a reflection of lynches back in the day. Right. Because they would lynch criminals, like mobs, angry white mobs would lynch criminals as public displays of, look, you can't be black and commit crimes. This is going to happen to you. So to me, it kind of gave me that kind of thought, like, oh, y'all strung him up. Oh, it was the police officer. He strung him up. He put a sign on there. No secrets. Okay, so this makes me think of a lynch. Yeah,
that'd be the first thing you go to.
Yeah, like a public lynching.
I'm going to back it up a little bit. Before Illinois' death. And it's not too long after Illinois finds, what's her name? Her name was Mary. Bigfoot Mary.
Bigfoot.
Yeah, hell of a name. The next scene is when you get Vanessa Williams' character, and she's leaving Bubby Johnson. Right. Also in movies, these gangster flicks, you have the wife who has pretty much had enough.
Right.
She's out. Done with the shit. And, well, except Casino, when she kind of just snorted coke until she couldn't snort coke no more. But how, as a woman who has chosen to accept what her significant other does for a living, understand the consequences of what her significant other does for a living, understand the risk and, almost promised death-defying situations that you have to accept with this type of love that you have for this person. Right. So what is the actual boiling point to make a woman slide out of that relationship? Besides the obvious.
Which was what? The people dying? Or Loretta Devine dying?
Well, I would say seeing the people die versus am I going to die?
I think that in those situations, I think a woman realizes that, this relationship isn't really about me. It's about me supporting you. And I don't want you to do this anymore. So either you're going to stop or you're just going to continue to put me at risk. Right. So I think that in doing that, like, I'm just going to keep putting you at risk because I want to keep making money. You're choosing money over me at that point. But I will say I like Laurence Fishburne's reaction when he's like, oh, well, let me help you then since you want to be
out. Oh, yeah. He flung them shirts better than anybody I've ever seen in my life.
I like his reaction because he's like, oh, you want to be out? Oh, but you was good when it was going good. But now that it's rough, you want to dip.
These mink fur coats, and I was making sure you was in the finest of the finest.
Right. You was good.
Now you want to skate. Okay. All right. We'll take
I like his reaction.
Flinging these shirts real quick.
But also, she's not married to him, so she's free to go.
A lot different from American Gangster because she was already married.
Right, so that is different.
But you were going down.
And she got my man's caught buying that fur coat.
With that damn hat. Man. You know what I'm saying? Trying to stop, man.
Boycott.
Stop. What Instagram was around at that time?
Oh, he would have been caught a long time ago.
I mean, niggas get caught for less nowadays. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But
Snapchat.
If you're doing it like that and you on Snapchat, yo, fur coat.
Snapchatting all this money.
Yeah, bro. You deserve to go ahead and get cut up one time. So I want to get to this part where I think the movie does take a great turn because, this whole time we've been basically learning to hate Bub because Bub is from the neighborhood, however, runs with Dutch. Right. And which, by the way, Dutch treats him like shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, calls him racial epithets throughout the time they're together. And yet, it's fear that he hasn't left Dutch's side. Even in the beginning of the movie, he goes, Dutch Schultz holds court in Harlem. Yeah. And you have your Harlem residents who's been here since day one, and you're outside chanting this man's name like
right.
he's God.
And you don't live here.
You don't even live here.
You live downtown.
Exactly. So how are you allowing yourself to be the one to
relay that message type thing?
And really, going back to that scene does fuck me up because there's a quick glimpse to it when one of them's like beating up the black lady outside.
Yeah.
Like fist punching, beating her ass outside. Okay. And I'm like, you being a man from this block, allowing that to happen. Mm-hmm. You know, like there has to be something more than fear.
Right. He was just a sellout.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I think that he was a sellout and he just was like floating through his life at that moment. Because they said that he used to run things.
Right.
Before Laurence Fishburne went to prison.
Right.
He used to run things. Now Dutch does. So Laurence Fishburne really didn't understand how that happened. And I think that it was just him trying to bow out, but not really bow out because he wasn't gonna find another job anywhere else.
Right.
This was what was feeding him, so he just was kind of just going through the motions.
Well, I feel like we get to that scene where Bumpy calls up Bub in a really dark ambiance, kind of way.
Right. I liked how they shot that.
Yeah, I thought so too because when you walk into that room and it's straight dark, and you have Bumpy Johnson Fishburne
just sitting there
with the glass jaw chin, looking at you like. Just squinting you down. What do you do in that situation? Are you gonna pull your gun? Or hear what the man has to say? And when he actually sat down, and then you get that aerial view of them talking it out, that's when you begin to feel something different about Bub, because this whole time it was fuck Bub. Bub ain't shit. Bub sell out.
I don't know. I feel like I kind of didn't feel like that. I feel like he was. Because they were showing so much disrespect towards him, that he was eventually going to be like, y'all got me messed up.
Right.
Or y'all hate black people, and I'm black.
Right.
So it was something in there that showed me that, like, okay, he's not completely loyal to Dutch.
Right.
Especially when Dutch sunned him in front of that police officer. When he's like, come get these scraps that we ate.
Yeah, that was a key point for me.
That was like a heavy contempt.
And I was like, whoa.
Right, that was so cold.
Disrespectful on an all-time high. So now I want to talk about something I've been waiting to talk about this entire show. The death of Dutch. Mm-hmm. And I completely forgot how his character is killed. I thought this entire time Bumpy killed him.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why. I seen it maybe, 10 plus years ago, but I thought Bumpy killed him. So as I'm sitting and I'm watching this scene kind of play out, his man's Lulu. Mm-hmm. Lulu, what was his man's for what we knew was his man's, but
like forever. It sounds
forever.
Like it was like forever best friend.
He pulled the heater when it was time to pull the heater.
Right.
But when Dutch breaks off to the bathroom, I'm like, does he get killed here? And right. I looked at the time, I'm like, oh shit, you about to get killed. Oh damn. It was a weird death scene because I don't know what is he breathing something in or he doesn't want to breathe something in, but his body is shaking to be damned as he's like killing Dutch. And I thought it was cool because you expect Fishburne or Garcia or one of the
or Whispers.
Whispers, I did not kill Dutch.
Just coming out of one of the stalls or something.
Can't nobody hear you. You have no vocal cord at all, so you should be good. But the actual death of Dutch coming from somebody who you thought was his man the whole time. And
it was just for money. That was the weird part.
And it was strictly for money. And when he gets shot, I think he shoots him like 4 times.
Yeah, it was at least 4.
At least 4. And he walks out. I'm thinking like, this is a weird death scene. But he walks out down the steps, literally sits there at the table, looks up at his man with a weird smile.
Like in disgust. Like I felt like he was like disgusted. Like, really?
Oh, yeah.
Really, bro?
In the minute of your death, you realize like you thought that was your man.
Right. It was like a scoff. I feel like that's probably what it was, like a scoff.
So his body drops right there, and you go outside to our guy One Eye, Lucky Luciano, and Lucky blows him away.
You got to kill him. Like, boy, you just killed your best friend. You think you're gonna come work for me? Absolutely not.
I was sitting there. I'm like, this movie's 20 years old. But I'm like, oh shit,
that's hilarious.
That's what happened. Oh shit, I got so excited because now that you're older, you can actually understand the movie and you know where it's going.
Right.
And it's like, whoa, this is what it lets you know the gangster lifestyle is not the lifestyle for me.
Okay.
Because motherfuckers are jumping ship.
I like
real
that.
quick.
I liked Dutch's death scene though. That was cool. Like it was cool. I sound crazy, but it was it was just not typical. So I liked it. I liked how they did that.
It was unexpected. It was definitely something that I didn't expect
right.
at all. Now, the movie pretty much wraps up with how can I say this? I think that the ending is a bit weird because the music that's playing in the background. The dude that's sitting on the horse and carriage. I want to talk about him real quick because ever since I first seen this movie, and then Family Guy happened to come out years down the road. There's a character on Family Guy named the Tooth Jaw or Mr. Tooth, something like that.
I don't know.
But he has a long, super long bottom jaw.
Okay.
And the guy that's sitting on the horse and carriage reminds me of that character.
Okay.
And I've always thought he had like a weird, creepy face.
He reminded me of the cartoon character on the Princess Tiana. What was that movie called? The Black Princess,
Princess and the Frog?
Princess and the Frog.
Right.
The voodoo guy.
I haven't seen Princess and the Frog in years.
Aww.
Yeah.
Such a good movie.
And shout out to Disney too. I'm a Disney head for sure, but
he made me think of
I missed.
You silly. He made me think of that voodoo guy.
He looks like a voodoo guy.
He looks like a voodoo guy.
When I seen him in different stuff, I'm just like, dude, your face looks. Do you blink? Like it's weird. You know what I mean? So
he has like a dope look. Like he's gonna get casted looking like that.
In a horror, probably, probably something like that.
That's why he was the Undertaker. Low key.
That is true. Okay, so the movie pretty much wraps up with him going to Illinois' funeral and how it's eating him up. You could tell it's eating him up. And he makes the walk through the church, going toward the body. You kind of see the past players who kind of played out the movie. At this time, Bub is now gone. I think he skipped town. But as he's he sees the body and he's walking out, the music's playing, and he steps outside the church. The camera pans over to Mr. Weird Face, and it looks right back at Bumpy Johnson. And he's just like, he's crying, the rain is pouring down, he looks up, and for some reason the camera just pans right into his face.
Whose face?
To Bumpy's face.
Okay.
Until his eye opens up and the credits roll.
Right.
Which, I always do love when a movie wraps up perfectly.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like saying nothing is perfect. Like, don't say too much at all. Like, saying nothing is saying everything.
Too much dialogue kills a movie.
Yeah, there's that too. Now, what tripped me out, because when I watched it today, when the movie does end, it says directed by Bill Duke. And I forgot he even directed this damn movie.
Yeah, I seen that. It was, like, really big.
You know you done fucked up, bro. Yeah. You know you done fucked up, bro. Yeah, you fucked up. And I think he also did a Rage in Harlem, another, like, great...
Rage in Harlem?
Yeah.
Okay.
Our parents have those.
Okay.
Yeah, that was those, along with Sugar Hill and all that shit. But for a guy who doesn't direct movies often, maybe 2 or 3 in his entire career, for a guy that does not direct movies often, I think this movie definitely had a very artistic direction and a straight direction, like where you want to take it. And once again, a movie that features real people, but in a fictional situation.
Right.
Makes you kind of believe this really happened.
I was like, I know these are real gangsters. Did this happen or no? But it just confirmed it for me. It said it didn't.
So clearly it didn't. So Oak, are you ready for takeaways? Are we doing takeaways now?
We can.
We got some time in the show. Let's do it. All right, takeaways with Oak. Who's getting your That Guy award?
That guy?
Your favorite male character? My
favorite character was the creepy guy. The creepy death guy. I felt like his character was very symbolic, and I think he represented death.
I'm going to get you a poster you can put in your room of him.
I think he represented death. So Bumpy came in. He seen him right away, right when he entered Harlem.
Right.
And then when people died, he seen him, and he's like, oh, he's going to make us a lot of money.
That is so true.
Yeah.
Maybe he does represent death.
He does. He's like, oh, he's going to make us, he's a hero. He's going to make us a lot of money. Represents death again. It's reinforced. And then at the end, when Bumpy sighs, like, ooh, I'm done with this life.
Right.
he's eventually going to leave. That's why he's on a carriage. So he's gone. So now that Bumpy's done with that life, death is leaving him. So that's what I got from that character. So I liked that character.
Knowledge from Oak. Until you said that, I never even thought about it. I thought he was a character that was really weird looking, and he's just around to be around. So since you brought that up, that's dope. Shout out to Oak for that one.
Yeah, I like stuff like that in movies.
Who's getting your That Chick award?
That chick?
Not too many chicks in there. So you got
the Queen. I'm giving it to Cicely Tyson. Why not?
right. This Fool award. Least favorite character.
Least favorite? That I did. Probably the judge.
The judge?
Yeah, because you're greasy. You're making deals, and you can be bought off, so.
I mean, what movie where the judge isn't greasy?
Yeah, but he played a role, so I'm going to give it to him.
Right,
What movie?
right.
I need a greasy judge to pay off.
Shit, man. Let me get a greasy.
Can I get a...
Man, look,
Actually, he might be my favorite.
I got a driving ticket, boy, from like 2012. Hook your boy up,
Okay.
man. I'm trying to drive legally out here, bro. Come on, now. Cut that out. What would you cut from the movie?
What would I cut from it? Okay, there was a scene when Francine and Bumpy, or Vanessa Williams, and Laurence Fishburne was walking from, I forgot where they were walking from, and a bum comes up, she hands him change, and then the bum walks off. I was like, was that needed? And then after that, he recites a poem. Corny.
Yeah, yeah.
Very corny.
Right.
The poem, it was corny. I would have took that out. They could have kissed or something, maybe. Or maybe it wouldn't have shown
all gangsters have a love backbone, you know.
Yeah.
If I killed four dudes yesterday, I kind of want to write you a poem. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me let you know how I'm feeling
maybe they
about
could have
this.
been sitting on the couch and he read it to her. I feel like standing at the door and she just smiles really big like she loves it, and it's like, girl, you don't love that poem. That poem was 2 lines and it wasn't that tight.
And he didn't write it. He just freestyled that real quick.
Yeah, see,
You know what I'm saying? I wish I knew a girl named Nessie.
Right.
Who used to model for Pepsi. Anyway, so your iconic scene. What's getting your iconic scene?
My favorite scene or iconic scene would be when they're all it looks like they're in a basement, and that's when it's revealed that Veli, I guess, Veli was paid $3,000 to hire hitman.
Throwing that knife out, boy. He trying
And
to cut.
Whispers comes out of the shadows to
Why'd
kill
you do
him.
it, Veli?
Right. So to me, that was like symbolic of, look, I'm always gonna be here. I'm always gonna be around. I'm here when you least expect it. So even if you think you're getting some mercy, you're not gonna get it from me. So
Why'd
I
you
like
do
that. I like that part.
Why'd you do it, Veli?
But you know what? I think I wouldn't have killed Billy.
You know what? I don't think I would have killed him either, because he's the one who like legit begged for his life. Come on,
And
Bumpy,
that's why
please.
we're not kingpins.
I'll be out tonight, man. You would never see me again, Bumpy. Come on, Bumpy. Nah, he wasn't having that.
Right.
For me, my That Guy award, I was funny enough. I was gonna give it to either Lucky or Bumpy. Lucky because he really doesn't do anything.
But he has this big role.
This big thing. He's around. He has a pool, bunch of girls necking in there. He has no real beef, you know. But it makes you wonder who's the real man in this whole situation,
Right,
because
who's in charge?
you have these two going at it. What the fuck do you do? Like, are
Right.
you a
You
hired
can let
gun?
them kill each other and just be like, cool.
Yeah. And so they never really, in my opinion, didn't really establish
The
what
connection.
Lucky actually does. Yeah.
Like, what does he do for you guys?
It's like a DJ Khaled record. Like, what do you actually do, Khaled? You know? But I'm gonna give it to Bumpy because, as I would say, the most fleshed out character in the movie, because it's based around him. But similar to American Gangster, you do watch the rise, fall, the re-rise, and a possible permanent fall of a gangster in this time frame.
Right.
Beef, success,
Then he loses
and
everything.
and this is shot during the Depression in New York.
Right.
So
They made that very clear with all the people outside.
man, oh
Sleeping
man.
on mattresses.
I'm surprised they had that. I seen a newspaper on a few of them. That you're sleeping on pavement at this point.
Yeah, I did see that too.
You're sleeping on the cartoon section. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I can do that. But yeah, it'll go to Bumpy because I feel like Bumpy is the most fleshed out character, and he was able to guide us through a very haunting situation.
Okay.
That he was able to break through from and still really find his own sense of peace.
Right, exactly. Ultimately, at the end.
In the thick of it all. My That Chick Award, it was going to go Vanessa Williams because she was gorgeous. But I'm going to give it to Cicely, man. Queen Madam, man. Like, what? If I was around that time, at my age now, and Queen Madam was like, I want you to take it on my wing and be my little boyfriend or whatever, I'll be down because Cicely look good, yo.
She is stunning.
I mean, now, probably not, but
You're so silly.
Back then, Queen, Cicely Tyson, hell yeah.
She would have got that.
She would have got that. All that young, tender, all that shit. But I feel like she's one of those actresses who just age so gracefully. Mm-hmm. You know, we were talking about Lark Voorhees the other day on How to Be a Player with me and Corey. Mm-hmm. And we realized how Lark went from being Lisa Turtlefine to
Lisa Turtlefine.
Spoiled milk, Lisa Turtlefine. Yeah, no shade. No shade. I'm just saying, like, Cicely Tyson has aged so gracefully. But anyway, my This Fool Award, even though I do connect with this character, and I don't want to, but I'm going to give it to Dutchman.
Okay.
He would have been my That Guy Award because, like I said, I immediately got to him first because he's the one that's the most loud,
right,
attracts the most attention. And like you don't do shit.
And he lost, essentially.
And you lost, you know? So I want to love to hate you. And I think the way you go out is the perfect way to go out.
He went out like a gangster, though.
You kind of went out like a gangster. So did he lose? Yeah, he lost. But, you know, but...
he lost for sure.
But when you're expecting one of these two sides to take him out, somebody that's that close to you takes you out.
And his own boy.
His own man. So I'm like, yeah.
Foolishness.
I love how you went out. I really do. Cut that out. I was going to give it to Scary Face, but now that you've made that connection, I'm not going to do it anymore. Because he's the only person in that movie that's in all black.
Yep. And he's just mysteriously there. Like, you got to account for those kind of things that happen in a movie. Mm-hmm. So that's what makes me appreciate some movies when they add some kind of symbolism that's not readily, captured. Like, you're not going to just watch that the first time and really be like, oh, well, that's this. So,
yeah. Wow.
You got to give something else to people, not just a storyline.
I was gonna give him Cut That Out. I'm not going to, so I'm gonna take yours. The whole building romance with Bumpy and his girl.
Corny.
Cornball.
We didn't need that.
Didn't need it. Just hey man, I'm Bumpy Johnson. Come on, get in the lag. Let's do it.
And the bum coming up, and she just gave him some change, like without speaking. Like that was just odd. Yeah.
However, my iconic scene.
Okay.
Goes back to when Madam Queen and Dutch having this sit down, and Dutch drops the balls, and everybody just locks up. I was like, shit, this is not a game. Oh, no, take it back. Here we go. Iconic scene. They bust through the Cotton Club.
Yes.
And they let Dutch know what's happening.
Very lit. That's was a really
scene.
Good one.
And this is the time when black folks are not allowed in the Cotton Club.
Yes.
We can't walk on the same block as the Cotton Club. Not only do I walk through your establishment,
that's when it started to heat up. That's when the tea started getting hot.
Not only am I walking through your establishment and I'm not allowed to be here, I got guns on me.
Right.
My hitters got guns on them.
And we're suited and booted.
And that motherfucker on that stage right now, I'm talking to his bitch ass personally. You know what I'm saying? Right. So for me, because once they walked out, because I feel like Bumpy never lost his cool when he was in that scene, and he says, "Get ready for your final thrill." Mm-hmm. Boy, that's some gangster shit. And they walked out, and as they walked out, Dutch is on stage going ape shit,
acting a fool.
Because you just literally got embarrassed for about 5 good minutes,
and he had to throw a fit, as he usually does.
I'm gonna fuck your wife better than you bastard.
He's like, go fuck that high yellow bitch. I'm like, dang, they were saying that back then?
Yeah.
But then again, this was made in 97, so who knows?
Oh, yeah. Things were not so PC back in the time.
Right.
So. But yeah, so that's my iconic scene. Let's get into quick hits so we can wrap this thing up.
Can I ask one question?
What's that?
So if you could make a GIF from one of these scenes, what would you make a GIF of? Because I'm going to use my same iconic scene And you know how, like, if you're having a conversation and you're like, dang, they just slid in our conversation, you can have whispers coming out of the shadow, like, just hopping in the conversation.
I think a gift from this movie would have to be whispers in anything.
Right, because he's
like,
just hilarious.
Anything, but like something scary, something funny. Whispers is like your granddad who don't have his vocal cord no more. But trust me, when he's calling your name, you're going to hear that nigga.
Right.
Alonzo! Hulk!
So whispers.
Yeah, whispers, yeah. For everything.
For a gift.
For everything. Totally. I'm down
gifts.
for whispers. Quick hits. An old friend of the real Lucky Luciano allowed Andy Garcia to wear Lucky's pinky ring for one scene. You can see it when Lucky gives Thomas Dewey the bribe money at the whorehouse when the prostitutes take the cigar out of Lucky's hand. So he's able to wear the actual pinky ring of Lucky Luciano. How rusted was that shit?
He's silly.
Yeah, that's ugh.
That's kind of lit though.
Yeah, hell yeah, that's dope. I remember I think Johnny Depp wore the actual vest of John Dillinger for Public Enemies.
Oh,
and it still had like the bullet holes in it. I would feel weird about it.
That? Are we just let's keep his vest? Like,
let's see them drawers right there. Let's keep them drawers right there.
Selling on eBay.
Yeah, it's on eBay. See what happens. They're still selling a bunch of Pac's fingernails and all that shit.
Fingernails.
I'm really exaggerating. They do sell a lot of Pac shit though.
Okay.
So.
Like, how do you even get them?
This is the second film in which Laurence Fishburne has played Harlem gangster Ellsworth Bumpy Johnson. He first played him in Francis Ford Coppola's The Cotton Club back in 1984 as Bumpy Jackson in a smaller role.
Okay.
I never knew that.
Whoever Bumpy Jackson is.
I think. Oh, you know what? I think at that time, 84. No, Bumpy's long dead by this point. Why did they change his last name?
No clue.
It's called The Cotton Club.
Maybe they just got it wrong.
Oh, it was Johnson? Oh, okay. I thought it was Jackson. You know, black people. I get it. Although Ellsworth Bumpy Johnson, Dutch Schultz, Lucky Luciano, Stephanie St. Clair, a.k.a. Madam Queen, existed in real life. The movie is fictional and is only loosely based on incidents in their lives during this time period. Many other characters include Francine Hughes, Captain Foley, and Calvin are wholly fictional. But that goes back to the art of storytelling.
Right.
Because, once again, they present this movie to you as if it is really based on a true story.
Right.
So, really, the people who are playing, the characters are real people.
Okay.
Not a real situation. Kind of makes you want to, what if we could rewrite history? See what happens with that. You think Bumpy would have won? I don't know.
No, I think the Queen would have. She would have stood her ground.
Yeah, and then she
came out of prison and took back over.
When she gets upset, she gets gutter. Like Queen, she don't play that shit. I don't think she gonna whoop nobody like at her current state, but she'll get her hitters for sure to make something happen. Though set in New York, the movie was filmed in Chicago because it still has buildings that are of the type that were in Harlem in the 1930s, unlike present-day New York.
Okay.
Yeah, there are a few movies that are shot in Chicago to look like New York. Yeah.
Wow.
They have those old buildings. What did I go to? It was in New York like years ago. It doesn't matter. I'm moving on. I lost my whole train of thought. In Luciano's close-ups, his right eye is not open as much as the left. On many historical pictures of the real Lucky Luciano, his right eye is partially closed as well. This was due to a knife injury during a 1929 abduction by unknown assailants that damaged muscles in his right cheek that prevented his eye from working properly.
Gangster stuff.
Yeah.
Got attacked.
Do they explain that? Nope. He just do with a lazy eye.
They could have just put a scar on his cheek or something.
Fuck, give my iPad. Shit, he don't do nothing.
You mad?
Yeah, come on.
You're just walking around in this white suit.
The most you do, like, you were chilling in the pool with like 10 white females. They're all naked.
And I still didn't understand that. I'm like, are they your boobs or are they synchronized swimmers?
They're a synchronized swimming team that they got to come through there in practice and they got to come through naked. So
definitely didn't get it.
Oak, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. I got to get you back on another one. We're going to shoot Dope Daddying too. I'm in that joint for sure. You know what I'm saying? But
go ahead, solidify your position.
Yeah. I'm gonna write something special for my partner. I ain't trip. But what's next for you? What can we now expect from Oak in the future?
You can expect from me joining another radio station. That's in the works. And also you can expect from me to get more politically engaged. So I'm working on some stuff with Slim or Fillmore Slim. You know Slim.
Shout out to Fillmore Slim.
Yeah, I'm working on some stuff with him. So, I mean, be on the lookout for that. Hopefully you will be a supporter of that and many other people because it's about to get real serious around here.
Yeah, whatever you need. You know, Beat Network, we're always about the collaborations and boosting each other up, so to speak. Cool. That's why we do what we do. Go ahead and plug your stuff one more time. Where can people find you? I feel like she has so much stuff because, number one, your IG be popping.
Thank you.
Be popping. You know what I'm saying? But you have so much that you are working on and so much that you already have out. I feel like when they finally find you and see what you can create, what you do bring to the table, it's something beautiful. So go ahead and plug yourself. Where can they find you? Plug Dope Dadding 1, the early years, right. Whatever you want to call it.
Short film.
Your short film. And then let's keep it on what you got going on.
Okay. You can find me on IG at _KOKOAKA. Also, you can find me on YouTube under Naoka Foreman. That's Naoka. Last name Foreman, just like you spell George Foreman. On Facebook, I go by Autumn Gold. And on Twitter, I go by Oak Levin. And that's a 0 instead of an O in Oak Levin. And Levin is spelled Luvin.
So do you purposely have various handles for stuff?
Facebook is a whole different story. Like, the reason why my name is Autumn Gold instead of my name is because stalkers.
Oh.
Stalkers. Real like not a joke. Stalker.
You got stalkers?
Stalker, I want to kill you.
Like niggas hiding in the tree?
I hope he's not in a tree. I hope not.
Oh, man.
But
it's crazy. You need a bow and arrow. You know, one day just come out.
I heard I should get a taser or something. Like,
I mean, if he's close to you, tase that nigga. But as you,
a bow and arrow.
When you walk out the house, kind of like, scope the whole area. See the trees moving, ain't no wind blowing.
Silly.
Boom! You know what I'm saying?
Just shoot it.
It could be a bird or a stalker. You never know.
Silly. But I can't change my name on Facebook for some reason. It won't let me.
Oh, so you're just going to be Autumn Gold.
So I'm Autumn Gold, and my Facebook be popping, but whatever.
Well, like I said, love having you on today. Got to bring you back for something else. Maybe something a bit more modern day.
Cool. I'm with that.
I'm
so with that.
Yeah. Players Club's coming up pretty soon.
Players Club.
Yeah, word up. Ronnie Ho quotes. You can follow me on all the social media simply at I am Jay Alonzo. That's Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter. I don't tweet, but I'll try. Instagram. Working on the Tumblr page now. You talk to me, I'll talk back. The Back to the Classics Movie Talk group is up and running. Just jump on over there. Join the party. We'd love to talk to you. BeatNetworkOnline.com. You get all the latest news for current events, merchandising, links to all the podcasts. Shout out to the whole crew over there. We got some stuff coming. Stick around. No games. We told y'all we got more content, all that good shit. And with our fellow friends at Over the Top and various other collectives here in the city, it's going to be a beautiful fall. That's all I'm going to say. It's a beautiful fall. With that being said, we're out of here. One more time, shout out to the beautiful and talented Oak. Can't wait to have her back for another one. Shout out to my man Twice over at Twice Talk. Shout out to the whole Beat Network family. I'm Jay Alonzo. We out this thing. Peace.